right, welcome to News 6 Extra. I'm Christopher Heath. It is Tuesday, November the 18th. Kathleen, I know yesterday, obviously, I was indisposed, as we'll say, unable to make it.
Yes.
But I understand the program went on flawlessly to the greatest ratings it's ever seen.
I don't know about that, but Lisa was a lot of fun to have on, so it's a good show.
She found me around 1:30 or so and was skewering me on this. So, and of course, tomorrow, programming note, I will be off. I'm not off. I'm going to be doing jury duty.
Mm-hmm.
Jury duty.
Yes.
So
hopefully you don't get picked for a trial.
I don't know. I mean, that'd be kind of a pain, but at the same time, I've never gotten out of the main room, so we'll see. We'll see. But I think all of us that go in there hope that we don't get called. So
yes.
We'll see how that goes. Anyway, yeah. So that is tomorrow. I have to report at 7:30 to be part of the pool, and then we'll see what happens from there. So I could be coming back with stories, or I could be indisposed for several more days.
Right. If you're not here Thursday, we know.
Yeah, allegedly. I could just make it up. Be like, oh yeah, I got called. And they're like, does that sound like a beach in the background? No, I don't know what you're hearing. That's weird. Beach. Who's this? A beach. It's a beach trial. That's what it was. Yeah. So, okie doke. All right. Speaking of beach weather, it is warming back up out there. Our little cold spell has come and gone. Candace Campos is tracking the forecast for us as we get into the teeth of the Thanksgiving season. Here's Candace.
I'm News 6 Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. After a foggy start again on your Tuesday morning, we are expecting a lot more sunshine in store with temperatures once again rebounding above average in the mid to low 80s. Don't be surprised if tomorrow morning we deal with another round of early morning fog. Looking here at the clouds and rain futurecast, you can see overall not a lot of rain, not a lot of cloud cover to talk about. Now we are going to hold a slight chance for rain along our coastline for the next couple of days, as we will have that onshore breeze, which could possibly bring in an isolated sprinkle or two along the coast. But as we take you here hour by hour, great day to maybe get your car washed, as the weather is going to stay pretty dry, not only for today, but throughout the rest of the week. Highs this afternoon back into those low 80s with another round of some overnight fog. Rain chances again, for the most part, we will stay dry, but we just can't rule out the chance, a kind of a real low end chance for an isolated sprinkle or two to just clip the coast this afternoon. Then later on tonight, our lows will be down to about 59 degrees. Fog once again is expected to develop starting out towards our west and slowly kind of filtering in along the I-4 area, with overnight lows staying in the upper 50s. But we are down to 9 days until Thanksgiving, 12 days until hurricane season ends, and Christmas just 37 days away. But between now and Thanksgiving, which is next Thursday, we are anticipating things to stay pretty dry. We have a big ridge of high pressure in control. The jet stream really doesn't take that big nosedive further south, and that's really going to keep all the cold air and any real significant cold fronts up to the north, which is why temperatures for the next couple of days will be staying in the 80s. So your Thanksgiving preview, not a bad Thanksgiving forecast. If you're doing a little bit of a turkey bowl, a little football, watching the parade possibly on Thursday morning, temperatures are going to be in the 60s. Then into the afternoon, we'll be warming up back into those low 80s. A very typical setup compared to what we've dealt with a couple weeks ago. But we are talking about a big shift in the weather pattern potentially happening beyond Thanksgiving, starting up about Black Friday and into the early part of December. You can see there's going to be a big shift where colder air is going to start plunging down south and taking control more of the rest of the country. Most of the U.S. will be on the warm side for Thanksgiving, but it really looks like we'll see a flip in that forecast by the beginning of December. At this point in time, it doesn't look like that's going to still bring us a significant drop in temperatures, but we're going to be watching for those cold fronts possibly making it their way a little further south. So fingers crossed we can get more holiday kind of weather back into the forecast just in time for the holidays. As we get results here, your full 7-day forecast, again, dealing with some early morning fog over the next couple of days as highs remain above average in those low 80s.
On Friday, we had breaking news here in the greater Orlando area. Orlando police responding while serving a warrant at a tattoo shop, kind of Edgewater and Lee area, just kind of northwest, so to speak, of downtown. And we obviously brought to you breaking news around 3 o'clock and then stayed on it throughout the day. Well, as more video and more information has come out, there's still a lot of questions about exactly how this all played itself out. Again, Orlando police serving a search warrant, one person shot and killed. Mark Lehman has the very latest on the video being released, as well as the information we're getting about this deadly shooting.
Orlando police tell us the man who was found dead was near the back door of this tattoo shop when officers opened fire on another man. Police say he wasn't the intended target of the shooting, but investigators tell us he was associated with a nearly 2-month investigation. Newly released video from Orlando police shows the moment officers opened fire on a man who they say was holding an AK-47 style rifle Friday afternoon. Officers didn't hit the man, who went back inside the building. An hour later, 20-year-old Caleb Williams was found dead by that same door. We heard from his mother hours later.
They weren't even here for him. He was here just working.
OPD confirmed Williams was associated with their search warrant for drugs and firearms at the tattoo shop on Edgewater Drive. Investigators also say a stolen weapon was found on him. People who knew Williams stopped by Monday night.
It was a little moment that I seen my friends sad and, going through it.
Orlando police had been investigating the shop since September and released social media videos, which they say showed drugs and guns. On Friday, 3 people were found inside, along with the man carrying the rifle. Officers identified him as a registered gang member. Meanwhile, those who knew Williams are questioning the actions of police.
That shouldn't be the cause of somebody dying. There's a lot of people out here that got guns that's not supposed to have it, you know what I'm saying, that wander the streets every day, you know what I'm saying? And he worked at the tattoo shop, so that was his home of, business.
Williams' family maintains his innocence. Orlando police say they identified 9 people associated with drug sales at this shop, including Williams, and they also tell us several pieces of evidence were recovered from inside, including firearms, ammunition, and about 6.5 ounces of marijuana. In Orlando, Mark Lehman, News 6.
Obviously, a lot of questions continuing to swirl on this. I think it speaks to the fact that you're seeing Orlando police preemptively release body camera video to try and, put out a bit of a narrative there to explain what happened, especially considering what we're now learning about this. Obviously, story that we're going to stay on top of and continue to ask questions about exactly how this warrant was served and exactly what happened at this tattoo shop just near kind of Lee Road and Edgewater. Okay, shifting our attention to Washington, D.C. And, for weeks, if you've been watching this, you've heard me bemoaning the fact that our federal government was shut down. Well, we got that solved. And, of course, on the backside of getting that solved was a discharge petition. Discharge petition, fancy way of saying that the House has procedures in place. If the speaker and leadership don't want to bring something up for a vote, the members can sign on to what's called a discharge petition, essentially forcing the issue. And the discharge petition had dealt with the Epstein files. Jeffrey Epstein, the notorious sex trafficker who committed suicide during the, I think it was Bill Barr was the attorney general at the time, first Trump administration. He committed suicide while in custody. His associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, was also convicted. Anyway, there's all these files that have been compiled, I should say, by various state and federal agencies investigating Jeffrey Epstein and his dealings and his sex trafficking. And the files purportedly cover all sorts of things, both emails to and from Epstein to other people. It comes as no surprise that many of the people mentioned in this are Washington insiders, the people who are connected either, from the bureaucratic side or on the political side to our federal government. And there's been a push for a long, long time, and this goes back years and years and years since Epstein's suicide, to release these files. And now we're getting to the point where the House is about to take a vote to actually release them. Now, once the House does its vote, it goes to the Senate. We'll wait and see what happens there. But it's caused a couple of fissures, especially within the GOP, because there's a faction of the party that was really pushing hard for this to be released, and another faction that was not. And meanwhile, Democrats, seeing, that this is going on, decided to start pushing as well. And now there's enough votes, at least in the House, to move this forward. Natalie Brand explains.
This was me at 14 years old. I was a child.
Epstein survivors reflecting on the past say the vote scheduled for this afternoon is long overdue.
This isn't just one case gone wrong. It's an institutional failure on a historic scale, and every member of Congress and this administration must answer for that failure.
The House is fast-tracking the bill, so it will require 2/3 majority to pass.
You are going to see probably a unanimous vote in the House to release the Epstein files, but the real fight will happen after that.
President Trump told reporters Monday he would sign the legislation if it reaches his desk. House members leading the effort have called on the Senate to take up the bill without amending it.
It should go straight to the Senate and it should be signed. No amendments, no adding loopholes. Justice is long overdue.
House Speaker Mike Johnson has already called on changes to be made in the Senate.
Congress should give the Attorney General broader authority to redact all the victim information. The discharge doesn't do that. This would prevent the release of information that could be used to unmask victims who have chosen to remain anonymous.
Sponsors of the bill say the victims who were on the Hill this morning support it as is, but added that the president could take action on his own to release all remaining files. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And a bit of a misnomer there on all remaining files. There is going to be within the, breadth of the Epstein files, grand jury information. Grand jury information will more than likely never see the light of day. It's grand juries operate behind closed doors and in secret for a reason. The burden of proof in a grand jury is simply, much lower than what we have when we go to an actual trial. So because of that, grand jury testimony, grand jury proceedings, documents obtained by the grand jury, without extraordinary circumstances, will never see the light of day. As for the rest of these files, the question will remain, how much of this is credible? How much of it is, circumspect, and how much of it is going to be, not reliable? But we'll wait and see if the Senate actually does follow through on this and what the Senate bill looks like, if it gets punted back between the two chambers and where it goes from there. So anyway, far from over. And of course, in the backdrop of all of this is lives that were ruined, children that were sex trafficked. Okay, stay with us. On the other side of this, drones, AI dating, and shenanigans in international waters. We'll be back. Welcome back to News 6 Extra. I'm Christopher Heath. So as drone technology has become more affordable, more reliable, lighter, easier to operate, it has found all sorts of new use. You remember a couple of years ago when Amazon was toying with the idea of package delivery via drone. Well, it's heading that way. You look at some of the conflicts going on around the world. Drones are increasingly being used for military purposes. And one of the other areas that drones can really be successful for is surveillance. Not just surveillance, but perhaps some countermeasures, so to speak. So Volusia County is one of 3 school districts in the state of Florida that has been selected to pilot out some of these drones as a way of protecting the schools and protecting the students against threats up to and including school shootings. Angie Casada has the story.
We're actually in front of my former high school, Pine Ridge High, the home of the Panthers. This is one out of several campuses that Volusia County says the new drone technology could eventually be deployed. And today the district is reacting after being chosen as one of only 3 in the state to test it. They're small, but fast. And now Volusia County schools will help test whether drones like these can save lives in an active shooter situation. These drones are developed by Campus Guardian Angel, a Texas-based company the state selected for a new pilot program.
Yeah, so in a school shooting, most of the death happens in the first 120 seconds. So it's really about how quickly can you get there to engage the shooter before they've had the chance to kill a whole bunch of children.
The drones stay stored in secured boxes inside schools. When an alarm is triggered, pilots at a remote command center launch them within seconds, locating the threat and then having the ability to fire non-lethal powder pellets, blare sirens, and flash strobe lights to distract or disorient an attacker. Superintendent Dr. Carmen Balgobin calls the selection an incredible honor, saying it gives the district a chance to lead with cutting-edge technology to protect students and staff. Sheriff Mike Chitwood says the drones offer incredible potential as a force multiplier, giving deputies precious time during the most dangerous moments. The state set aside $557,000 for the program, and Volusia will begin implementing it early next year. Volusia Schools says these drones could reach any point on campus in as little as 15 seconds. The district will start training and testing in 2026, and the state will use the results to decide whether to expand the system statewide. Reporting in Deltona, I'm your Volusia County community correspondent, Angie Casada, News 6.
All right, Kathleen. We're looking for love in all the wrong places. All right. AI technology for dating. New technology helping the age-old quest for love. Aw. Dating apps are now incorporating AI to help people find their real connection. This won't end badly, will it?
Well, I mean, it's hard to trust anybody. And I don't know if I trust AI to be telling me the truth on these dating apps, So.
Right. I mean,
I have questions.
Well, here's what I have. I have questions, and then I also have concerns because the other thing that's around the horizon is the virtual girlfriend or virtual boyfriend that you can create, or all of these. As we get into even greater, virtual reality and that kind of it's. I have concerns. I am deeply, to quote Susan Collins, I'm deeply concerned.
Deeply concerned.
Yes, but I mean, okay, so, years and years and years, obviously before I met my wife, put that on the record, dating apps had not really come out. Like Match.com and like eHarmony had just kind of launched in, but they weren't on the phone yet at this point. You had to go actually onto a computer and go online. So they were around. But, you still had to go in and fill out a profile, and unless you had like access to Photoshop, you couldn't give yourself a 6-pack and like guns, Right. I mean, the old joke was, oh, that's an old photo.
Right. Well, as a matter of full disclosure, I met my boyfriend on a dating app.
Ooh.
And it's worked so far, but
Good.
there's a lot of posers on there. Let me say that. A lot of people that, you do a quick search and you can figure out that's not them, or they're married, or whatever else. So I just wonder when you use AI also. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm glad you said it's working out so far, and I had to say that because that'd be an awkward way for him to find out, like watching this and be like, you're like, I met him on there, and I'd be honest with you, it's not going well.
Right. No, he wouldn't watch. He wouldn't watch anyways, but no, it's going well. So
good. I'm glad for that point of clarification. But I would imagine AI, I mean, maybe it helps guide you in the right direction, but I mean, I don't know what it's such a, what everyone's a little bit different. I'm not buying this, and I'm worried that as you can increasingly make yourself look to all sorts of different ways. You know, again, the old joke of, oh, that's an old photo. It's not going to be that's an old photo. That's a doctored
Right.
photo.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of awkward first dates out there. But you know what? Anything that helps people find human connection is ultimately a good thing. Let's hope, as CBS's Austin Carter explains to us, that this technology be used for good and not evil. And it won't just be one day where Skynet shows up and kills us all before dating us, or the other way around.
Let's hope not.
All right, here's Austin's story.
Looking for love in the palm of your hand.
Swiping left, swiping right, and nothing is ever good.
29-year-old Leslie Reyes moved to Miami this year. She's tried just about all the popular dating apps, but keeps hitting a wall.
Dating here in Miami is harder than any other city.
Now she's finding authentic matches on Alo. Developed in Miami, Alo is using artificial intelligence to help people find a real connection.
Alo incorporates AI in a way that it helps you feel seen and introduces you to you first, because it merges with our authentic intelligence to create a profile for you.
Alo founder and matchmaker Halea Gianni says the app uses AI to help build an intentional profile using an initial assessment that's crafted with 2 decades of relationship expertise. It's a combination, Halea says, is missing from the other apps.
They've been really formulated around, attractiveness and likes and gamified algorithms, but you can't do that with the matters of the heart.
Matches require a minimum 70% compatibility score. In fact, you won't even see profiles that don't reach that threshold. This is in categories like magnetism or attraction, shared thoughts or experiences, and lifestyle preferences. AI is making its way into many dating apps one way or another. For example, Tinder uses AI-powered matching to find connections, and Bumble uses it to suggest photos that could work well on your profile. This all comes amid dating app burnout in younger generations. But Reyes has high hopes for this approach.
There's just so much research done beforehand that you know that whoever you match with is a good match for you.
Things are looking up for love. Austin Carter, CBS News, Miami.
All right, Kathleen, I'm not buying it.
Nope. I mean, I guess if you're using AI to help enhance your profile and kind of just bring out the best, I guess maybe that's not as bad. But
I don't know. I mean, the whole eHarmony thing back in the day was like they asked you all like a full questionnaire,
right?
And then it went through, and I guess, but you had to be honest with that. The AI thing, I don't know. My concern would be that like you're going to go out on a date with somebody and it's not good, and you're going to be like, well, I know, but the AI said that me and Dave would really hit it off.
Right.
And, Dave's, the AI doesn't pick up the fact that Dave skips showering on every other day or something.
Well, and that is important. That is important. So you're right. All right. There's some stuff that they just can't pick up on. Like maybe they're a loud chewer, or, they're really messy, or that is true.
Running a meth lab in their backyard.
Yeah,
that's stuff.
That's probably
Red
not
flag.
a good idea. Yeah. No.
Red flag there. Yeah. Okay. So I'm a pass on the AI thing, but hey, listen, 20 years of marriage, it's worked out so far. Hopefully I don't need it.
There you go.
If Mariah's watching this, I love you, honey. Don't ever leave me for AI.
You're right.
Anyway, okay. Enough of that sordid conversations of love. And we're off to Disney. It's the newest cruise ship, the Disney Destiny. It'll be sailing out of Port Everglades. Now, Beef here, how are you and I not assigned to this?
Well, I was wondering that same thing. I was like,
Haley's out on the ship right now. Yeah.
Right. And I was like, I could use a cruise,
Right. Exactly.
So I'm a little jealous. That she's
This is
there.
one of those plum assignments that I need to figure out who's doling these out and jump to the front of the line, because it's just, I think both of us should be on the cruise. New 6 Extra on the road, specifically on the Disney Destiny. And then, at the maybe we could do the whole thing from the never ending pasta bar or whatever, and that'd be nice up on the Lido deck.
That would be nice.
All right. So as we trash our coworker Haley, here she is out on the Disney Destiny having fun. Haley.
I'm News 6's Haley Coombs. Disney Cruise Line is bringing both Marvel and marvelous adult escapes. And on the Disney Destiny, 2 iconic characters are being brought to life. Dedicated to the mystical world of Doctor Strange, the sanctum is filled with red and gold accents inspired by his cloak of levitation, which is on display alongside other magical artifacts. The design takes you right into Doctor Strange's New York sanctum, with carpet patterns that mimic his medallion collection and a circular bar that glows with color-changing lights, symbolizing the powerful forces protecting the lounge from supernatural threats. For sips, there's a menu full of mocktails, cocktails, spirits, and coffees.
We created Eye of the Agamotto beer handle for him, the Eye of the Agamotto. So what we'd like to do for you is to give you the Eye of the Agamotto to start with, and you'll be our wonderful saucer. So we celebrate again the journey of Doctor Strange. So, of course, it's an experience for 2. As you know, Doctor Strange, when he went to Carmatage, the ancient one, give him some tea. So right now, we're sharing the same experience that Doctor Strange had with the ancient one. Of course, she gave him some tea. Us, we're going to have a tea with a little bit of a spirit into that. So, cheers. Welcome to the sanctum.
Just a short walk away is DeVille's Piano Lounge, an adult-only spot inspired by the fabulous villain Cruella DeVille from 101 Dalmatians. This lounge comes complete with Cruella's signature black, red, and white colors, and features a glowing fiber optic Cruella that appears and disappears behind the spotted piano.
Of course, when you first enter the space, you're going to see the piano, you're going to see the lovely pianist playing tunes, probably Cruella DeVille, and then Cruella herself appears intermittently throughout the evening, just like that moment in the movie when she appears in the doorway.
That was my next question is, yes, so you'll see Cruella. Can you laugh with her? I feel like you have to bend your the neck back and do her kind of iconic laugh, right? Do we hear that at all?
The laugh is definitely encouraged, but as you're enjoying your Cruella and fashionista-inspired cocktails, Cruella herself might appear.
The Destiny's maiden voyage is November 20th out of Port Everglades with sailings to the Western Caribbean and the Bahamas. For now aboard the Disney Destiny, I'm Haley Coombs, News 6.
All right, Kathleen, thoughts?
You know, I like that she kind of highlighted some of the things for the adults, because I always think like a Disney cruise, it's just geared towards children. But it's kind of nice to see that there's some things for adults too.
Yeah, you stick the kids with Disney does a good job of obviously they have tons of stuff for the kids to do, and the adults, yeah, go scooch away to the piano bar or the Doctor Strange bar. Yeah. All of that seems like it'd be fun. My kids are, unfortunately, as we speak, aging out of kind of that, when they were little, they loved Disney. Now they're kind of getting to the point where they'd rather do like the roller coasters. So, Disney has good rides, but they're not like roller coasters the way like you look at like SeaWorld or Universal. So that's kind of in their wheelhouse. But then again, they're in that teenage area. They'll come right around because the same thing happened to me. You get a little bit older and you want to go back to Disney. So anyway, and you especially want to go on the Disney ships when they're inviting you out there as an assignment for work, but that doesn't happen.
Right. I mean, I'm still lobbying for that London trip.
Oh yes, so you can scooch over to Paris and finish what you started. Now it's making sense to me.
Right.
All the jewels you left behind in your mad dash to escape the Louvre, you've got to go back.
Right. The crown that I dropped. Yes.
To the scene of the crime.
Yes.
Oh, I'm on to you. Interpol's going to be very interested in this broadcast. All right. Before you get arrested by international authorities, thank you, as always, for putting this together, Kathleen. Thank you so much. And thank you to Candace for the fantastic weather. Thank you to Haley for taking one for the team and going out on that voyage for us all. Anyway, all right, we'll be back here, do it all over again tomorrow. I won't be. I will be at jury duties, doing my civic duty. But should I not get impaneled onto a jury, I will return Thursday for this. Otherwise, I will see you back here later this week. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Of course, we break news all the time on clickorlando.com, and we'll be on the air for News 6 starting at 4 o'clock today. See you then. Bye.